What up, BikeMan?
Hey, what's up, Rocket? How you doing, man?
Not too bad. How are you? How's the stream going?
It's going really fun so far. I thought I would be like all like tedious and like I'd be tired, but I've had so much caffeine that it could tranquilize an elephant. Let me turn you up. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
I haven't seen you in hours. Lol.
I'm actually supposed to be working, so in before all the hate that I'm not actually working right now.
Really?
Well,
so,
I'm kind of working.
From your channel.
So I'm totally I'm delaying Standalone right now. Again. Last time
Delaying
it was Space
alone.
Station 13.
Exactly.
Oh
Hold on,
my God.
I'll get a tweet out saying that I'm in your stream.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it looks like you were having some troubles. Is that what we're going to talk about?
Oh, I was just trying to be funny.
Okay.
Maybe I failed. Everything comes across as serious.
It did. I was like, huh? You want to talk about leaks? I was like, does your car have a leak? What leak? Non-specific.
We can talk about leaks.
Oh, really?
But what I really wanted to ask: have you played the new Prison Architect?
The one with the riots that they just put in?
Yeah.
No, I haven't tried it yet. I was holding off on Prison Architect because last time I streamed it, the alpha was in such a state that like it was just a mess to play it. Like they wouldn't open doors, and I had to put in special doors. It was just a mess. So have they really like it's worth it now?
Yeah, I think so, but I don't know about streaming it. The one issue I have with it at the moment is that now when you accelerate time, it actually goes really slowly. So what you can often end up in a situation is where you don't actually have anything to do because you've set up your prison, you're waiting for something to happen. So the warp speed isn't very fast. I think it only goes like 3 or 4 times as fast. But maybe that's a like just a simulation issue. They can't actually make it.
Yeah. But it's fun to play. Like this new riot mechanic. Like, what does it add to it? I briefly watched the video.
You have to, like the other day, last night when I was playing it, I went back to I was cooking some toasted sandwiches, and like I went away for a couple of minutes, come back, and it's like 40 prisoners in your prisoner riding. So it means that you really have to manage what the people think now,
Yeah.
which I think adds an extra add.
Oh, whoa. Also, we need to play some Space Station 13 soon. I'm getting that. I'm getting that itch. I'm getting that itch wicked bad.
Seriously, getting an itch.
Yeah.
Someone's asking for my authorization to make a video on the leaked pre-alpha version.
Really?
Seriously? Come on. Give me a break.
So, yeah, am I allowed to ask about that?
Sure.
Like, I don't think you've said anything officially about it, have you?
No. Well, like, what are you going to say? Like, I don't think it's fair. One of the reasons that we've been killing Twitch channels that come up that haven't is because it's not fair for legitimate streamers who are like, well, I'm not going to stream it because it's a pirated copy. The other thing is that it doesn't really bother me going forward longer term because it's a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
So if you can't authenticate with the server, then like if you don't, for example, if it's not authorized on Steam, then not gonna be able to play multiplayer. So long term, I don't think it's gonna worry, and I think getting really upset and angry about it doesn't actually achieve anything because the real focus we should do is actually on finishing work we're on at the moment.
Yeah.
But man, the old gear screen. Oh man, I seriously talked with Matt about just finally just letting a bunch of people stream so that people can see that it's not still that awful like code version of the.
Yeah, like people are saying like the goofiest shit, like when someone was like, "Oh my God, someone's streaming Standalone right now," and it's like, "Everyone, go click a report button," and people were like, God, the UI looks terrible. I was like, you never realize that, like, all the pretty UIs and inventories and games aren't immediately pretty, right? I mean, come on. You realize
Yeah,
that,
and I
yeah. I
think,
mean, you realize that it's like programmers did this, and it hasn't had an art team.
yeah, and it's also, I think, like 2 months old. Some dude was exiting before when we were watching a stream channel, and it was, yeah, it's pretty funny because we saw his build number, so we know exactly what build it was.
Yeah. And, like, how old is that build that leaked out? And have you found out who did it? And are you going to Valve on them and get the FBI to, like, send extradition treaties and shit?
How old is it, Matt? Over 2 months, before I left for Everest.
Yeah, see, so it's not even like... people are like, oh my god, I'm trying to download this thing. And it's like, you know, it's not a game yet, right? It's running around with like weird bugs. I don't know. It's a weird fascination with getting something early, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah, I'm kind of zen about it all, really.
Yeah.
We didn't want to release the alpha until we felt the game's in a state where, for example, I would be happy to buy it. Like you say, like, you know how much I love Prison Architect.
Oh, yeah, I know
Prison
it.
Architect a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But when I first bought it, after playing it for like a day, I did get a bit disappointed because there wasn't a lot to it.
Yeah, no.
So I think...
It's the same thing with Project Zomboid for me. I bought Project Zomboid when I first bought it. It was like a year ago. And now it's like wicked fun to play because they're starting to put in all like the features. But it takes a while to cook a game. Like, you don't want to eat raw chicken, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, let it cook for a while. I know you're hungry, but have some patience.
Yeah, and I think as well, like Xenonauts, another game I bought quite early on because I love the original.
I was just streaming that, yeah.
Yeah. Look at a screenshot. I'm actually playing DayZ Standalone right now.
No, why must you tease us?
I'm thinking about doing a video. We're just making a little change to the way the zombie animations work because they're looking a bit jerky at the moment, or the way the attacks happen.
Yeah. So that's what...
Yeah, so once I do that, we might do a video and
that'd be cool.
A video and
I've been
like that.
I think one of the biggest things I've been anticipating so far is what the animations are going to look like with the new skeleton. I'm so excited.
They look better, but I mean, the ideal situation would be for us to use something like Euphoria, but not only do you have to give them like millions of dollars, but you've also got to give them a cut of your game. So it increases the price quite significantly. And also then there's integration time. I don't know, it'll probably take a year or something to integrate. So.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think anyone would... It would be a frenzy of impatience. Also, what was I going to ask? Yeah, so one of the things, like, I don't know, you haven't talked much about it. You kind of have hinted at it. I don't know if you're allowed to say anything. You can tell me. A lot of people... want to know about like the sandboxy stuff. Like, I know the mod right now, it's run around, collect gear, shoot other people or don't. But alternatives for that in standalone, like I know like there's going to be like a lot of Space Station 13 is obviously inspiring, but is there going to be stuff to do besides the loot hunt and shoot people? And like if you could do any details, that'd be cool, because even I'm really interested to know.
Yeah, so the crafting, to be honest, since I've been back, Ivan's been handling most of the details with crafting. I've been trying to just focus on overall architecture stuff. So for example, what I did today, I don't know if there's any of the testing team actually in the chat here, but they're a really good group of guys. So these are the, well, guys and girls. These are like the Reddit mods, all those kinds of people involved in the development and stuff like that. So the other day they tested out the new radios that we made. So there's two kinds of radios for DayZ Standalone. Heavily inspired by Space Station 13.
Yep.
And I'm actually going to meet the Space Station 13 guy at Rest. So I don't know, I might like kidnap him and stuff
put him in a sack
and bring him back here. You should seriously see what he's doing. I'm just talking to Matt now. Looking at Matt. Matt's giving me this funny look. And he's shaking his head. He hasn't said anything. He's looking at his computer. Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So there's two types of radios. One's what we're calling a transmitter, and that is your typical radio that you can talk to other players with.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is like a proper traditional sort of radio that you can listen to. You can tune into internet frequencies on.
Oh, that's really cool.
I think there was like Daisy Radio, or there's a bunch of them like that. So the cool thing is, not only will you be able to talk on radios in the game, but you'll also be able to listen to streaming radio, which I think is really awesome.
Oh, and give away your position to bandits.
That's right. But yeah, the transmitters, the way they work is, at the moment, they're unlimited range, but what we've got our programmer Beeble, who made it, working on right now, after discussing in the testing, is we're actually going to have them limited by distance, and we're looking at doing some kind of degradation, or at the near the range and stuff like that. We've got some other ideas for expanding the radios too, but they're going to function like the radios in Space Station 13. That's the idea.
Now, when you talk over them, are they going to have like Neato helicopter intercom voice masks? I just want to be on the radio and be like, Northwest Airfield for the love of God. Next stop, Porter Square. Boom, boom. Why did it sound like a subway at the end?
Roger,
I don't know.
Roger. 10-4, Big Daddy. Oh, boy. We don't have filtering in yet, but that is something that we're looking at.
Yeah.
The degradation to see what we can do.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I would be immersed, fully immersed in the sweet silkiness. All right, yeah.
And someone just asked about, do you want to remove the side channel if the radio transmitter works perfectly? Yes.
Yes.
What we want to do again, heavily inspired by Space Station 13, is we want to have an out-of-character chat, whether we call it global or whether we call it out-of-character chat, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it will be able to be dynamically enabled and disabled by server admins. So server admins will be able to say, right, no out-of-chat. So then there is no global chat, no side chat. The only chat that will exist that's kind of server-wide is what? Oh, the admin chat. So you can do an admin PM. Again, I think the method in Space Station 13 works quite well.
It does.
So we're inspiring heavily from that.
Yes, indeed. It does work quite well. But the challenge, obviously, for you is that that's text, and you're working with VoIP. It's going to be very interesting. Very
cool. I mean, a lot of people have said to me, "Oh, but people just use Skype or TeamSpeak," and I memean, there's nothing you can do about that.
You can if you want to, but I wouldn't
detect it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to because I want to be immersed in the game.
Well, we're just providing an option in there. I think radios will be used as listening devices and all that kind of stuff. So,
I'd say obviously, if your mindset is to play squad and you want to kill other players and be tactical, then obviously you're going to use out of game. But for me, it's going to be all about using the in-game radios, and the risk of discovery and all that stuff is going to be really neat. And,
yeah, exactly. What else? I'm trying to think what else we're working on today. I've mainly been working on the health system to make sure that the prototype's actually properly in for E3. Because the way we kind of developed it, because it was, and I think this is what a lot of people miss, the engine was being redeveloped as an MMO, literally. And I don't know, we can get into the whole serial gate, that's what I call it, argument of what is a new engine and what is not a new engine.
Yeah.
But certainly it redeveloped completely as an MMO, and when you compare FPS with an MMO, they're just talking cheese. So while that was happening, we prototyped a bunch of different systems, and now it's about merging them all together.
Can I ask, now a lot of people are raising a big stink. They're like, oh, we wish the game was in the Arma 3 engine because the movement's better and the movement's not going to be as good and all this other stuff, benefits of Arma 3, and you can't do this in the Arma 2 engine. Can you do that stuff in the Arma 2 engine if you rebuilt it like you did? What do you say to these people?
Well, first of all, I guess it's a good question. Well, not a good question. It's an honest question. I can see why people ask it. but I think that those who've done their research, they kind of know, what we've touched on before about how we need to go to an MMO. So what happened at the end of December was we were like, okay, we have to. We realized that in order to deal with issues like hacking, like I think a lot of people forget how much of an issue hacking was. The only
Still
reason
is.
hacking, yeah, well, still is, but the only reason it didn't completely kill the mod is because of private hives.
Yep.
Which weren't officially supported. So really, it's a bad situation. So that's when we were like, okay, we need to do this as an MMO. Our lead programmer, Andra, who is the father of the whole engine.
Yep.
I mean, he started it all.
Yep.
He said, look, I'd really like to work on turning this into an MMO. So we said, sure, go do that. And unfortunately, that was a lot more work than we're anticipating. And the fact that he got it done in the time that he did is nothing short of a miracle.
Yeah.
I don't know many programmers
I think
who can do that.
I think anyone with sense in their head will have the patience to wait, because it sounds what you guys are doing is a miracle. Because most games I hear in development, I don't know how many people are new to game development, but it seems like a lot of people don't know. Games take 3 or 4 years, and the amount of time that they've been doing this is insane with the progress.
Yeah, and look, the people who are testing at the moment, I think Smash is in the chat, and he raised some really good points today. So he raised that he had very big concerns about the quality of some of the transitional animations and camera and stuff like that, because when you go inside a lot of the buildings, your camera's clipping through. So we kind of take some steps back in some significant areas, which is unfortunate. I think there's some people, I hope not, but there's some people who are going to buy the alpha who then go, oh, and quite legitimately, they're like, oh, this is quite unpolished and blah, 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 blah.
Well, yeah, people get like alpha amnesia, I call it, and they're like, treat it like it's a normal game, and they judge it like that, and they forget you're supposed to be reporting bugs, not judging it.
Yeah, and so I think that's legitimate, and I think we're just going to have to accept that, because it just needs to get out. So we're not going to delay the alpha like indefinitely until we're at that point, because we've reached a milestone we had to, which was the what was it, the server client architecture, and we've reached that milestone. So now it's really just making sure we've got things in a state enough that people can actually do something with. Because the problem we have is if we completed the large-scale test last year, I don't think there would have been an issue with us releasing it basically with no content or anything.
Yeah.
But I think now that it's been so long, there is some legitimate expectation that a lot of stuff should actually be working.
Okay.
That was a really long-winded way of
That's all right.
answering.
I'm personally happy you guys aren't using the Arma 3 movement system, because I played the kind of early DayZ in Arma 3, and I really hate that you get winded and run slowly. That's really annoying to me.
Yeah, well, like we've got this control. We actually got the guy. So instead of using the Arma 3 system, we just stole the guy who did a lot of the Arma 3 stuff.
Yeah.
And we assigned him to DayZ for a few weeks and said, just come up with something cool. So we talked a lot about it. What he's done at the moment is you have to hold down a button, so I think it's assigned to spacebar at the moment, to raise your weapon.
Yep,
Otherwise,
that's
when you
great.
fire, it's just going to shoot off. Well, it sounds good, but I'm really not 100% sure about it.
Really?
Well, you're having to hold something down. And
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know whether it's just because I'm used to the game, but when you push the left mouse button,
Yeah.
I was used to it coming up. So talking with Marek, one idea we've possibly got is that we might do it the same way Arma 2 did it. So after having your rifle raised for a while, we'll just automatically have it lower.
Okay.
So you can only hold your rifle up for a while, and then there'll be a little bit of an inconvenience to push the left mouse button to bring it back up.
Okay.
I don't know. All I'm saying is I don't know whether this
I think
way is any good.
Yeah, I think people would want to toggle. Because if you're running around in like a tense situation where you run into other survivors, you're not going to want to wait for the default animation to lower your gun. You're going to want to be like, lower it now, Jesus, I don't want to be a threat.
Yeah, but also we don't want people running around with their rifle raised the whole freaking time. So I think, we want to, but we can just do that by having your rifle automatically toggled down. So I think, there's a lot of this stuff that's going to be shaken out in the first month or so of the alpha.
Yeah.
And now that Steam's got that early access program, I think we can release on Steam and not.
What was that?
Now that Steam has the early access alpha program, we can release on Steam and not get torn to pieces.
Not get too. Okay, I lost that last part. Okay. Sweet. I can't wait. Yeah. Shit, I forgot what I was gonna ask next. Yeah. I forget if you said you were going to put syringes in the game? Did you say that at one point?
Yes. Look, there's a massive list of
I know
items.
Is there some of the
huge,
like sandboxy stuff like that you can toy with? Distractions, stuff to do besides shoot other people is what I'm fishing for.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt, what's an example of crafting that's in now?
That would be great. I would love to hear about some stuff.
The improvised grenades, right?
Oh, improvised grenade sounds amazing. Instead of shooting at people,
looking it up.
Blow them up.
Like I say, I wrote up how the architecture should be for the overall crafting system, and then the system actually got handled on. My table's falling apart.
Oh my god!
It is. It's terrible. Yeah. So
it doesn't stand alone.
Crafting system. It doesn't stand. All
right.
It's not holding together entirely properly. Okay, Matt looks like he's about to say something. Everybody's waiting there. I'd be sitting there and playing games. Farmville crops.
Really, Farmville, Matt? Serious? I bet he paid
I'm joking.
IRL
I can't
money.
See his screen.
Oh, okay.
He's probably looking at dolphin porn or something. Probably torrenting Daisy from my apartment.
Like, can I
torrenting Daisy standalone.
Can I ask you how deep you're gonna go with the sandboxy? Like, if I have a syringe, can I fill it with like mud puddle water and like be like, this is medicine, and then inject someone with horrible muddy water, or like my own poop, for instance, like I've teased Lyric about. Like, people still have to poop in Standalone, right? That's in, isn't it? Didn't you do animation for it?
It's not 100% confirmed. We can do it, but again, it's kind of like this new control system. It's not, and this is the advantage of our kind of development style, I guess, is we're just going to say, okay, well, we're going to try this and we're going to see how it is. That's the whole idea of the alpha. Oh,
I can't wait.
Now that we've
some tests,
and
we've
got to do all that.
You're going to have to do some poop science, I feel. And we'll see how it pans out.
Because that got added it was a suggestion on the forums, and I laughed when I read it. But when I actually read the guy's post, I thought about it. And then when I was talking with my brother, he was like, well, human waste is one of the major vectors of disease during a disaster scenario. And so, I mean, it sounds weird, and it's...
I can just imagine snipers on Electro Hill, and they really their poop meter is full, and they can't camp there all day, and they have to make really loud noises to give away their position because they really shouldn't have eaten those leftovers they found on the table in the old abandoned house. And it sounds great to me.
This is the crazy thing, and I'm working on this at the moment. You'll have no meters. This is the idea. Again, it's kind of an aim. I don't know whether we can actually do this, but this is the aim, is to have no meters at all. So you'll see at the moment on the leaked videos and that, you can see the little debug monitor on the side. So I use that to check values and all that kind of stuff. But the idea is that's gone, and it's going to be a lot like Space Station 13 in that you'll just get, for the moment, they're going to be textual clues, like you're feeling hungry, you're feeling sleepy, you desperately need to go to the toilet, and there could be health effects if you don't react to those.
Are you looking to do those with sound cues or animation cues?
Exactly. Yeah. That's later on. But the guy Michael Manning who did the zombie sounds, we want to use him again because I think he should have the first option, and he did. I think a really good job of the
zombie noises.
So,
they're fantastic.
Yeah, so, and he wants to do a lot more. So we're waiting, he's been on holiday, so we're waiting for him. I think he's back in a few days, and we're going to get him straight into it. In fact, I think we might actually fly him over to Prague, because he's from the UK. Like, lock him in a room for a while. But, yeah, so the idea is to slowly move into the sound cues, but we want to get the gameplay right first, and that's why, like, someone was joking about the font before. I went, like, I rage quit Twitter over people complaining about the font.
Oh, I know. Just pay no attention.
It's been a long week, you know.
Yeah, I think you waste too much resources arguing with these people, and I think that some of them even want you to do that. Yeah, I think you should head down and not pay attention to that stuff because it should just deflect off you. I think you should power forward. You're doing a good job. And I think everyone who has any sense in their head thinks so. And you can worry about fonts after you worry about the game not, crashing every 30 seconds.
Exactly. That's one advantage we have. Actually, if there's one thing I can say that's good about Standalone, lack of crashes. That'd be right, wouldn't it, Matt? Do we have many crash reports? No. Yeah. So it's very stable. I would like to say actually more stable than Armour. One of the reasons is because the server does everything.
Oh, I know.
When you right-click on a UI element at the moment, so say you want to eat a can of beans, the briefest second you'll see a bit of text saying receiving. And what that's happening is where the server is actually populating the UI. Now, I'm getting super geeky here, but for anyone who's a script kiddie or anything like that, or anyone who's known that, they'll realize how important that is, because that really, it's kind of like not a silver bullet, but it's definitely a massive blow to the types of hacks that are available.
Yeah. What I've been saying to people basically is you're not going to see it on any scale like you do in the mod when people ask me. I say that if you play like Battlefield 3 or Call of Duty, you see the occasional aimbot, and it's really hard to get rid of that sort of thing. I'd say it's going to be on par with that probably. But it's not going to be cows dropping from the sky with parachutes anymore. The client can't control and tell the server what's happening.
Right. And also the client only receives updates relevant for it. That helps not only with client bandwidth, but also with the ability for like hacking to see where people are on the map and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. It does mean, though, one thing we have found is the server, well, it's kind of interesting because the server performance has been improved drastically, but it's also been hurt drastically as well, because now we spawn all the zombies. So it's kind of like, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh. So I think servers, I expect, are going to be about the same as they were. Now, someone asked about desync.
Yep, I just saw that.
And I love it. How does that guy who does the DayZ episodes, he says desync. I love how he says that. So I'm going to say desync. Desync doesn't happen in the same way that it did before. If you'll get latency issues, but you won't get desync.
I would prefer latency issues to desync, I would think.
Well, yeah. Latency's more a sign of the network rather than a sign of something going seriously wrong. Another issue that happened a lot, because it's funny, when we went through the code, we were ripping stuff out, we discovered all these things that were broken in the previous one, all the stuff with Vaughn, all that kind of stuff. And we discovered like a lot of packets were being sent in the wrong order. So you would, for example, like you would receive a reload message from someone who's already disconnected. It's stuff like that. So there was a lot of that kind of stuff. Someone asked about latency and rubber banding. So rubber banding is one of the server's methods used to stop characters warping. And previously in Armour 2, it was brought in one of the patches.
Yeah, see that in quite a few online games. Someone will like whip back to the position they were in before. Yeah, they'll like slide backwards in fast motion. Yeah.
And look, we've seen that during the testing. One of the issues we have is that optimization and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of one of the things that you do quite late in development.
Yeah.
I've done some optimization, but how have you noticed? I'm asking Matt here. Matt's sitting near me. How have you noticed the performance of multiplayer during the last test? Yeah. What we found is it's all right if you're close to the server. Now, this is quite amazing because I think we're spawning like 2,000 zombies or something,
Yeah.
and over 100,000 items on a map.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we're talking. There's no way an Arma 2 server even would have been able to boot with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the fact that Matt's getting pretty good performance, you know, when you're close to the server. What we have found is people testing from Australia and stuff like that, if they're accessing the server in the public or the UK, wherever it is, they are having issues with performance. Like, you know.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to ask about what kind of weapons are you going back to? Is it going to be more sparse to find? I know you got... oh god, people are going to kill me if I get this wrong. Magazines, right? Am I right? It's magazines, not clips. Yeah, magazines are separate from the guns. So if you can have a gun, but
some
no magazine.
weapons have clips. Some
clips,
weapons
all right,
have
yeah,
clips
yeah.
in the
Like so,
real
you could
world.
find bullets, but if you don't have a magazine or clip, you're fucked. I was going to say, are you going back to simpler post-apocalypse weapons? Is it going to be
Yes.
DMRs everywhere, or like what kind of military loot are you planning? If there's going to be any, is there going to be any?
All items and weapons are being redone. Everything. And one of the guys working on them, and I always forget his name, he worked on Grand Theft Auto, right, Matt? Yeah. He did a lot of stuff for Grand Theft Auto. So he was quite a score for us, and he's working as an external, and we just pile him full of stuff. I'm just opening up, I'm trying to vamp at the moment because I'm opening up the spreadsheet.
Ooh, spreadsheets.
Where are we?
You're going to play EVE Online? Is that what you're saying?
Weapons. No, I'm just looking at the weapons. My internet's going really slow here. Oh man, this. So we've got bolt action rifles. We've got semi-auto hunting rifles. We've got military style, rifles. Rugers and Remington shotguns and just a lot of the stuff you'd expect.
So stuff that you would find in the countryside for reals.
Exactly.
Like you're not finding a sniper rifle that's bigger than your character.
You pronounce it Mauser?
The Mauser, yeah.
And Mosin Nagant. Gant. You know, there's quite a few bolt action rifles that you'll see in game. We've got kind of a mix. There's a lot of stuff you'd expect from an Eastern European country, but we've also added in, and this was mainly at my insistence, a lot of other military-style weapons as well, like the M4A1 and that sort of stuff.
Okay.
I did an interview yesterday with this Czech magazine, and they were asking me this really interesting question about authenticity. Oh, sorry, damn it, I just gave away the answer. Realism. So we're not aiming for realism, we're aiming for authenticity.
Okay.
So we make a few concessions, like, for example, if you find certain types of scopes, they'll probably fit quite a few types of weapons, maybe more than they, like, we're looking for common attachment items.
Yeah.
Rather than
an
attachment that's specific to one weapon.
I'm going to try to direct the question a little bit more specifically. I'm a fan of less is more with guns. But I wouldn't mind a sniper rifle or two, but incredibly, how rare are these? Like, I don't want people running around with like fucking crazy weapons everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, AS-50s were incredibly everywhere. I think that was probably because of duping at the time. But at the same time, no one considered themselves geared up unless they had an AS-50. Are people going to be running around with insanely powerful weapons? Or are you going back to like the 0.3% drop rate? Because that would be amazing to me. I'm sick of 500 vehicle servers. I'm sick of you start geared up. That's not survival to me. And I'm hoping that you guys go for less is more on this, and that finding a weapon is way less easy, and also it kind of forces people to work together.
Yeah, well, you know me. I'm a total thick asshole, basically.
I know
when it comes to video gaming.
That's your best quality.
Exactly. It's my best quality. But so I really like this idea of very difficult experience, which is how we play all our games.
Oh yeah, you do not play a game unless it is deep, intricate, and sandbox. I love it. And
Exactly. Like, a lot of people oversimplify this. I don't just like complex games, and hard games. I like
deep games.
hard, complex games. Deep games. That's right, deep games. So the idea is yeah, definitely returning to that. Like, you've probably seen a lot of the screenshots are where there's all these big apartment buildings. They're sort of north and northeast and that of Cherno. These buildings are being redone from scratch, and they're going to have every room in them, and they're going to be sort of more of an abandoned style of building. And the idea is that just offers this massive looting potential. You can imagine people running around these buildings. There's not going to be really any furniture in them because the idea is they've been gutted. Like, apparently here when the Soviets took over, they took all the gypsies and they were like, you people have to live in houses. So they built them these big houses. But the gypsy people just gutted the houses, even took like boards off the walls and stuff, and then just left. So it's kind of like those. So they will have masses of loot potential, but very low percentages.
Okay, that's great.
So what people will see at E3 is not the spawn ratios that we want. Everything has a default spawn ratio of 1, i.e. everything can spawn. And also we have all items have the same equipment space values. Like at the moment, jeans, clothing, all that, they will have 6 slots. So all that's going to be balanced and changed.
Okay, yeah. I was going to ask, you guys aren't considering putting a stamina system in, are you? Like, that's the worst part of, I hate to mention War Z, but the game is pretty much garbage. But I hate that you run around and then you have to walk as your stamina meter builds up. And I think it artificially makes the map seem larger. I think that's what they were going for. But, yeah, please don't put anything like that in. I like being able to sprint fully all the time. It's just very nice.
We have our burst sprinting, which doesn't last very long. But you can run around, and there's no intention to add a stamina system.
Okay.
So we played a lot of the Ace mod, a very good mod. I'm sure you've played it for Arma 2, and I'm sure loads of people have. Very good mod. But for the style of games I play, I don't really mind so much about realism. I think sometimes people add stuff to their mods in the name of realism for these kind of reality type mods. It goes away from the authenticity, and I think that stamina is one of those things. So the way that we're going to deal to it is more having it have complex health effects. So if you're running around, use up all your energy with your running around, you're going to get colder, you're going to get malnutrition, you're going to start to have long-term, well, medium-term problems, not the short-term problem of stamina running out. So as long as you're eating a proper diet that doesn't just consist of energy bars and Pepsi, you're all right.
Okay. And I wanted to ask a little bit about art design. Are you guys thinking about, putting maybe... like they've added to the mod people who hung themselves in the church and stuff. But are you thinking about adding maybe overturned chairs, skeletons, maybe scenes of people who have died in any of the buildings like that?
I'm really reluctant to do that, and I'm reluctant to do it because of reading one person's story on the forums, and I wish I should have kept a list of all these amazing stories because I've used this so many times. Of this guy who, those red apartment-y building things?
Yes.
He saw all these he heard someone's dead body buzzing. So he started investigating. He saw a line of dead zombies all the way to the roof of the building, looked over the edge, bodies, zombies around it. He realized that this was some guy's last stand. And he described it as like being something you're not supposed to.
Yep.
And that's like, nobody designed that. I didn't design that. The person will never know that he saw that. So I think that and the way he described it.
I believe I remember you told me this. You told me this.
Yeah.
What it was he was on the second story of a building, wasn't he? And there were zombie corpses everywhere, and the player's corpse was on the ground, and it was as if he fought the zombies until he ran out of ammo and had no other choice but to jump to his death.
Yeah, and he jumped hoping, okay, maybe I'll survive and maybe the zombies will die. And it's just, such a compelling experience. Whereas you compare it to something like, say, Left 4 Dead, where there's a blast with lots of blood and zombies and stuff like that, that has or dead people, that has no effect on you. Because I think context is incredibly important when it comes to horror and gore. So I think if we're going to add skeletal remains and stuff like that, it should be based on player characters. That's kind of what I want to do. Again, it can be. Again, I just see people hopefully not putting Game of Thrones spoilers in there. I've been trying to catch up because I've been away at Everest, so I'm not going to look at the chat.
You shouldn't have even said that. Yeah, I think
Matt's raging behind me about something.
Snape kills Joffrey, but anyway. What was I going to say? So yeah, basically players create their own static art design, then, is what you're saying. And the stories are told through witnessing the aftermath of what players have done.
Well, that's DayZ. Like, when you actually look at it, particularly for the mod, there's no real gore at all, except for this cartoony blood pouring out of your character. And yet there's, a lot of people say how scary it is in the horror and stuff like that. And I think that really is validation for the idea that horror is context. Like in Space Station 13, remember when I got the face hugger inside me?
I do remember that.
Matt was the chief medical officer, and we're like, oh my god, get it off me! And we're all going in. So there was no real physical gore there. It's just these tiny pixels and this weird top-down game.
Your imagination compensates.
So much, and so much better. So, yeah, I think that Rex's comments are all funny there. Big spoiler about Game of Thrones. Big spoiler, it's not a game.
Rex is a funny guy. He always makes funny comments in here. But yeah, to clarify for everyone, we were playing Space Station 13. A facehugger like aliens latched onto Rocket and laid embryos in him. And Matt was a surgeon, so they put Rocket on the surgery table, and they were going to cut him open and take the alien out. And I was a chemist, and I had polytrinic acid grenades, and I walked over and I was like, Jesus Christ, he's infected, and I threw the acid grenade in, and it missed everyone, but it melted all the medical equipment, which created a real issue. And then Matt had to go order new medical equipment to get it out of you before it burst open. Yeah, that was pretty great. Space Station 13 is awesome.
I mean, I don't even like the term, where people use the term emergent gameplay. And I had a lot of discussions about this at GDC. I think that it's different from that, because what I see a lot of people trying to do with emergent gameplay is like, they take the whole process of making story and game how you used to do it, and they're like, let's do the same thing with emergent gameplay. So they're basically saying, we're going to manufacture this amazing emergent experience. And then I'm like, what? And I think so. I think it's beyond it. It's like, I can't take credit for the experiences that people have in DayZ, because all we're really doing is providing this platform and chucking stuff in and saying, well, something out of this is going to make these compelling player experiences. We don't know what it is. We're just chucking stuff in. For example, books.
Oh yeah.
Why put full-length books in the game? That's why a lot of people say, well, what's the point? Well, we don't know. That's just it. Like,
they're just there just in case,
They're just there just in case. And yes, it adds a little bit of depth, but who knows? Like, some of the books might be incredibly rare. People fight over all sorts of crazy stuff in the mod. Imagine what they'll do if we add a bunch of crap like that. So really, I guess maybe that's how we could sum it up. DayZ is a bunch of crap in it.
I was waiting during the mod, because there's tin cans everywhere. I was waiting for people to make a currency, like Fallout bottle caps, but it never happened. I was really sad. Like, I got 50 tin cans. Can I buy that weapon? That would have been awesome. Okay, so everyone and their mom in chat wants to know, what are you guys doing about combat logging and ghosting? Can you talk about what you guys are thinking about doing?
Yes. So combat logging. So I talked with Jyrka, our programmer, about one of our programmers, about this. Not yesterday, the day before, because we had floods. So what we're going to do at the moment, in the standalone, the characters get deleted instantly when the player disconnects. We're going to leave the characters on. We're going to apply the WoW mechanism for a start.
Okay.
There's some really good work had been done around the combat logging system for a bunch of the DayZ mods, some of the DayZ mods that are around, for detecting whether someone's in combat or not. So we might end up tying it with that, so that you will have a disconnect system, like sort of cooldown penalty if you don't disconnect in a safe place, and it'll be even longer if you're just disconnecting out of combat. But I have to stress, it's not in there yet. Now, we won't be demonstrating multiplayer at E3 because internet's problematic at video game conferences, as you know.
Oh yeah, I know. I know.
Me trying to edit out zombies at the last minute at PAX.
Yeah, we had to use the press room. But they were like, "You're not press." You're like, "Well, I'm the guy that they write about, so can I use the room?" Every time, anytime like Rocket was like getting static from anyone, I was like, "Do you know who this man is? Rocket, flex your fame." He was like, "No, I don't want to." I was like, "Do you know? Get us into all the clubs."
That worked when we got into the Twitch party, though.
Bring us all the maidens. All right. Anyway,
we didn't even have invites to the Twitch party.
I know, right? And I was like, "Do you know who this man is?" They're like, "Jesus, let him in."
That's actually what happened. That's exactly...
That is kind of what happened. I was like, "This is Rocket. He designed DayZ Standalone."
Oh, okay, go on.
And then...
the NVIDIA guys got us drunk, but we don't...
What? No, that never happened. Shh.
That never happened.
It never happened. We never... The Hawking guys don't party crazy.
Exactly. That's right.
Oh, my God. People really, really want to know about camp construction. Is there anything new on that front?
Nothing. Now,
Nothing new?
I need to be really brutal about this, and I need to remember to do this in all the interviews that we do at E3 to manage people's expectations. I'm being really brutal about two things. One is the architecture. We want to get the architecture right. So we're spending extra time to design stuff in such a way that it's extensible and we can do other crap with it. At the expense of content. Second thing is quality. So I just reamed our artists out before about our current character, because the new character on the new skeleton, there's some proportion issues, the head looks really crazy, and a bunch of other stuff. So it's basically, I think I basically said to them, look, fix it or we're cancelling the E3 demonstration. We're not going to do that. It's, that's how bad we want to fix some of the stuff. So I'm really pleased that we're able to maintain that. And the only reason DayZ is able to maintain that is because Hemia did so well with Arma 2, and there's so much anticipation behind DayZ that we can actually turn around and do stuff that you even can normally do in game development. Stuff like, okay, well, we want a bottle of water. Let's get 3 awesome artists and pay them to design bottles of water, and we'll choose the best one. Like, you just don't get to do that in game development. So, yeah, so to manage the expectations around the camp system, I'm not even allowing people to really think about it until we've got the base stuff working. Like, base, I mean like the architecture working and the alpha release. Not even going to consider it. Same with vehicles. We might leave the vehicles in just so people can drive around, but they will get ripped out at some point and replaced by an entirely new system.
That's cool. And you're going back to a time when finding a vehicle was like finding an endangered species, hopefully?
Yeah, well...
Making an event, when you see a vehicle, it should be like you told myths and legends to your children about a vehicle and you can't believe you're seeing one, I hope.
Yeah, like, I don't want to piss anyone off by mentioning DayZ Origins, but, like, you have to admit the vehicle attachment-y system, is really cool. But they face many of the issues, and full credit. This is what's so impressive about all the various different DayZ mods that are out there. It's hard to get angry at them because I know how difficult it is to do stuff when you have such a trusting scripting environment that Arma operates in, and we have the advantage now. We don't have to deal with that because we don't have to deal with that because we're an MMO now. Everything occurs on the server. There is no client. So we just don't have to deal with that same stuff. So I'm really excited about what we can eventually do about about all that stuff.
Cool. Some people want lots of vehicles, but just really rare components to fix them, which it would be fine with me too.
Yeah, exactly.
What else was there? People asking in the chat. How much more time do you have, Rocket? Just curious. You should be. You should be
I'm kind
working.
of doing work in the.
Yeah.
I'm kind of doing work in the background.
Ooh.
We're pulling pretty much all nighters up to E3 anyway.
Yeah, I pretty much asked about release weapons, guys. It's going back to more basic magoobers. Will there be a clan system? I don't think so. That would kind of break the immersion that he's going for. I don't know, Rocket. You can tell him.
Just give me 1 second, and if you can vamp, because I'm going to tweet
I can vamp.
that I'm not going. I'm going to tweet that I'm not going to be in the stream too much longer, so that we hopefully get more people to come there.
Yeah.
And then we can smash a bunch of stuff out, and then I should get back to work. Because it'd be nice for you to get to 2,000 viewers.
Oh my God. Thanks, and thanks for everyone who's in here. If you're enjoying the stream, please push the follow button, and if you're super uber enjoying it, please donate if you can. Trying to raise money for a new desktop. And also
I just about
sweatshop.
pasted the link of our build machine. That was probably paste the link. Do I have to put the www Twitch TV, or is it just Twitch TV dot?
I don't know.
Wait, twitch.tv.bikeman.
I think it's twitch.tv/bikeman.
I think it's / round your mum's face.
Oh, my mom's face. I forgot that part. You still owe me $5 from visiting my mom that time. My mom watches the stream. I should never say that again. I was gonna say, could you put it to rest, people? That I think that magazine article.
She's probably gonna watch this as well.
She is probably right now, actually. Can you put it to rest? That magazine article that said that Standalone was gonna have a public alpha release this month, because I don't think so.
Oh. There's no defined date. We're really pushing the idea and the concept of it being a milestone-based release rather than a date release. Because we could pick a date, but what if we're not satisfied that people are getting their money's worth on that date? Then we just have to let people down and delay. So we've got our idea. Obviously, we've hit our blocking milestone, which was the client-server architecture. And so we've hit that. So we're in a position now where technically we can do our release whenever we need to. But we want to do the release as a paid alpha for one reason, if only to limit the number of people that are testing it. Look, I hope it's out as soon as possible. That's what this whole client-server architecture thing is. So, but there is no date, but it is, whenever we can.
Yep. Yeah, I was just pretty much wanted to put it to rest. That magazine article pretty much quoted you when you said you were going to see where you were at in June, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's coming out in June." This leap happened. I don't know.
It's 24-hour live stream.
Yes, indeed. I'm just reading this mountain of questions in chat right now, and I'm going to pick a really interesting one. So keep them coming, people. Will you be able to shoot from inside cars?
No.
No.
We looked at doing that. The technical basis of it is significant. But again, like I was saying before, we're looking at removing the cars entirely, redoing it all from scratch. So, that was something that's definitely on the list for that.
All right, I put it in slow mode so I can read. All right. Let's see here. No, he said there's no updates on bases yet, guys. I don't think that there's going to be nameplates over players. That would be against what he said earlier about making it more immersive and using body cues and animations and sound perhaps to convey to the player what's going on. Will server hosting be available day one?
Yes.
Yes, it will. Now, are you guys going to lock it down, or will they be able to customize things?
There will be some degree of customization.
Okay.
And a number of different settings and stuff like that. But one of the unfortunate byproducts of dealing with the hacking is that we had to lock down a lot of that stuff initially. What I'd like to do is have us move towards opening it up later on. But, yeah, some of the comments.
Yeah, some of the comments are really turning me on. I'm going to have to look away.
I'm going to have to download some dolphin porn.
Well, you know, that's the best kind. It's the squeaking, I feel. Let's see what else we got. Will there be helicopters? Probably, but rare, I would say.
Yeah, again, it's the kind of thing we're looking at. Vehicles, all that kind of stuff, and I think I really need to just categorically manage people's expectations. All that stuff comes after. The first thing that we want you to be able to do, run around, get killed, run around, get killed, times that by about 20. Find a weapon, find some gear, craft some crap together, find some water, fill your water bottle, put some puree tabs in your water bottle, boil the water, whatever, all that kind of stuff. So it's basically the idea of the DayZ mod when I first had the idea. All the stuff that we really wanted to do that I felt were really important for a survival game. And if you played a game like Space Station 13, have an appreciation of what the initial basis of what we're trying to do is. From there, let's say we put the alpha out. Boom. A whole bunch of people. Really popular, really successful. We just follow then the Minecraft approach. Every whatever day. We decided not to pick Friday because Fridays are just bad data release updates. We pump out an update. There's a new weapon in the update. There's a new attachment. We nerf this. We add that. We add it so that a new type of line-of-sight only radio. We add battery usage to radios and all this kinds of stuff. So, yeah.
So would you say that...
I really laboured that point, and I think it's really important to labour that point, is that people need to manage their... or I need to manage people's...
Yeah. Would you say it's going to be almost like a don't starve kind of crafting system where you start with stuff and then it's not useful until it's combined with other things?
Yeah, we're still toying with a lot of the idea. Like, we've built the architecture and I'm really satisfied. The architecture is fantastic. Allows us to do a bunch of stuff. But because it's such a departure of what we've ever had before, it's sort of a dream come true for me, really, to have a lot of the ability that we're able to do in terms of the real virtuality engine. So, yeah, we've got a lot of options of ways we can approach stuff, and that's why it's important we don't do too much before we release the alpha, because we then push it out there and say, does this approach to crafting work for DayZ? Nope. Okay, we need to find another one.
Are there plans for any wildlife besides zombies? If you're wandering around in the woods, you're going to run into something.
Oh, heaps. So we got an artist and an animator to do a deer. I know that much.
Anything a threat to the player?
Threat to the player, I see. Look, we've wanted to do that, and I think I answered about it on Reddit saying the main problem is animation and syncing the animation. Again, with a few $1 million and being prepared to give away a massive chunk of the royalties, you could have the Euphoria engine and you could do some really complex crap like that. But you're also talking about another year at least to get onto the game development. So,
but it's not out of the question, like somewhere down the line.
I would say it's highly unlikely.
Highly unlikely.
On the basis of animation. Having said that, I guess there's some animals you could do that don't require some kind of complex animation.
Yeah.
Like, we've really looked a lot at dogs. Dogs is probably one that I would say is well, it's a yes for the player, but how the attacks are going to work in terms of how they're going to look, it's a difficult one. Whether they're going to be able to achieve a level of quality we want.
Right. And yeah, I think you said that you were going to be putting ragdolls in at some point, maybe.
Well, I'm real hot on it.
Yeah, they look good in Arma 3.
Color variation.
Mm-hmm.
There's heaps of color variation on T-shirts, hats, all that kind of stuff. So you can really build your own little custom character.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what did you just ask?
You were hot on ragdolls.
Oh yeah. I originally had it as a must-have, but MMO won.
Oh, did it really?
When I found out when I found out we could remake it as an MMO, I was like, yeah, okay, screw ragdoll.
Mm-hmm.
And I think anybody who really appreciates the difference between an FPS engine would have gone, yeah, hello.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. It's good to get that settled. No, I will not be getting exclusive access to stream because it would be unfair to all the other YouTubers and streamers.
Yeah, look, we're quite sensitive now. I think even the way we initially did the testing for DayZ set, maybe a bit naive, but how we decided who got keys, and I think we did a pretty good job overall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like Matt says, it was based on how many people we needed. I mean, we're giving these people free access to the game, so we can't just give... Yeah, it was nothing really to do with importance or that. It was just a necessity-based thing. You know, we needed people to verify the system. And so I think we need to be a bit smarter about how... Like, you know, when all the leaked streams were happening...
Yeah.
I said to Matt that the best way for us to defeat the leaked streams, instead of reporting them all, is to allow people to stream. Because why would you watch someone streaming an old pirated build when you can watch someone streaming the current build?
Yeah.
But we're just not at that point. There's so much that the chance of us breaking the build is so high because we don't really care about the testers at the moment. We're just building for E3. So someone will, because our server compile system, we use Steam internally for distributing our build. So yeah, the build can break at a moment's notice.
Yeah, and I think like if you let it be streamed by streamers this early, people would probably be like, "Oh, that's it. That's what I was excited about because it's not ready yet." And yeah, it would probably peter off pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's kind of like
I don't think that would be a bad thing. To be honest,
that actually might help you out.
I put on my psychological warfare hat and thought, wouldn't it be great if DayZ suddenly became really unpopular, and then we had a very soft release on Steam, and then we actually sorted our shit out, and then it picked up again. Because when you look at it, DayZ came from nowhere, right? So if we can deliver what DayZ originally intended to be, so there's, people keep going, oh, the hype for DayZ's over, and when people say that on Reddit, I'm like, well, good. I don't get $1 for every person who gets hyped up about DayZ.
Yeah.
You know, the hype income department don't turn up and they're like, wow, you know, you made 1,000 people hyped, so here's $1,000. You know, that would be great. In which case, yes, I'd build the hype up. But actually, the best thing for us is if we have a fairly soft release on Steam.
Yeah,
I don't think there's going to be any announcement. It'll just, bam, one day it'll be there. You know?
I remember when we were doing traveling around, your opinion was mostly that you don't really care if 1 billion people... Well, you kind of do care if 1 billion people buy it the first day, but it would be like more difficult, and that really you want to make a good game, and that you don't really care how popular.
Not from a I want to save the world with good games like handstand. I'm not video gaming happy. From a pragmatic standpoint, if we make a good game, we don't have to market the game because the game will market itself. So that's the idea, is that, and that's why I don't think necessarily, yes, we take down all the streams, yes, we take down the YouTube videos of the pre-Standalone thing, but the people who were tweeting me like in capitals like, oh my god, you know, this is ruining everything.
No.
It's like, piracy's an issue and all that kind of stuff, but it's a multiplayer game. You know, we have less of an issue than, say, ASP or Prison Architect, and those games are actually doing fine. Like,
they are.
Yeah. and they're doing fine because they're good games.
Yep. That's true. I've seen a lot of that lately. I think that Kickstarter has kind of become like almost the savior of the obscure game, because all the big companies right now are just making a hand-holding, basically amusement park ride games now. Everything's dumbed down, direct the player through a path, do a story, get good voice acting. But we're missing all the stuff that I used to love back when PCs were first starting. All the complex games, when an instruction booklet for a game was longer than a novel.
Well, I tell a story about when I first played the original XCOM. We speak of that other one. When I played the original XCOM, I didn't have the internet. I just discovered this EXE on this computer my brother was looking after for one of his university mates. So I played the UFO Enemy Unknown without knowing anything about it. So when I was actually dissecting those sectoids, I was doing it because I didn't know what the hell they were. So it was like really awesome.
Yeah.
Someone just tweeted me, because I tweeted asking people not to give us cans of beans, right?
Yeah.
And someone tweets me, yeah, giving charity is a pain, question mark. Major logistics delivering a few boxes of beans, question mark. Yes. And actually a lot of the food places we've got to have well, not a lot. No, they wouldn't accept the cans. Yeah. That's just telling me. I don't know if you heard that. We ended up having to bribe some fans at Gamescom to drive the cans somewhere, and I don't even know whether they got to charity. So they did in the end, apparently. Yeah, but and so a lot of the places don't actually want them.
Really?
Yep.
Why?
I know. I think at last E3, when I tried to give them away, they asked why I had so much of the same type, and they were peed off because they just got.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you think? Like poor people only eat like baked beans or something?
I don't know. If I
Actually,
was poor and starving,
I have
I'd
a
eat
lot of baked
them.
beans in.
Yeah.
I have a lot of baked beans in my cupboard. I use them for toasted sandwiches. Really. Matt doesn't eat baked beans though.
Right. So you got like a whole bunch of furniture and stuff made out of bean cans over there.
Yeah, but man, people just, oh man, seriously, just they take things so the wrong way sometimes, and you just like, once someone takes something the wrong way, there's no way to get rid of it. That's why I don't bother correcting any incorrect media articles. You just end up making it worse.
Oh yeah. The more you say. Let's see. Any other questions? I'm personally out of questions. I'm looking at chat now. How are you able to lose zombies now with them able to run inside and better AI?
It's line of sight, so I've been testing that a lot. So what happens is, at the moment, again, this is just kind of where we're quite at a quite simple level. If you run out of line of sight for a tick, which is a hole, and the tick varies, we're playing with what the value is. So it's the period of time for which the zombie will, the zombie goes through its checks. It's going to move into its alert phase. So a zombie has 3 states at the moment. It has loiter, which is where it stumbles around looking all like, I don't know, word that's politically correct. Like, just all munted. I don't know, is that a New Zealand word? And then you have alerted, which is where it's like munted but moving fast, and then you have frenzy where it breaks into a proper sprint. So it goes back into it'll sprint to its last known location, and then it'll try and search around for you. If it finds you again, bam, it'll keep sprinting. Even after it's lost you completely, it'll retain some aggro, so it will still move around in an alerted state, but it won't sprint. I hope I kind of explained that well.
Yeah, if you lose the zombie, then it's going to stop obviously running at you. It'll probably shamble around where you last were and, investigate, right?
Okay, I'm going to deal with this question because I swear to God I get this all the time.
Oh, here we go.
How modified is the engine? How different is it from the real Virtuality 3 engine? Arma 3 is a first-person shooter. DayZ is an MMO. They're completely different. The DayZ engine differs from the rest of the real Virtuality engines in the fact that all the multiplayer activity is done server-side, and that's not a minor thing. That's very significant.
Yep.
Notes, diaries, yes, yes. Again, we focused on the architecture. The architecture's in there to do that. We can store a variable about any item. It's like Space Station 13 if it was persistent. So we can store, I can add variables. So it just really means that we need time after we've confirmed our base structure to add in the ability to do all sorts of crazy items and all sorts.
So many questions. Blurman wanted to know how was your Everest trip? What was the peak like? What was the peak like? Did you get to enjoy it? How long did you guys get to stand on it?
30 minutes. I made a big Tumblr post about it because I get asked this question all the time. I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe, really.
Did you ever worry at all? Like, or was it just you were so disassociative? Like, if I was up there, I'd be like, okay, this is amazing, but holy crap, I hope my oxygen holds out.
Well, I knew we had plenty of oxygen because the company I went with was really good.
Yeah.
But the main thing that was a concern was about 5 or 10 minutes before I got to the summit, despite having chemical suit warmers and electrical suit warmers, electrical foot warmers. What am I talking about? Suit warmers. I'm thinking about Space Station 13 and crafting and stuff. Yeah, boot warmers. My feet got cold on my right foot, and I was like, oh my god.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then I was like, bugger it. If I lose a couple of toes, I don't care. But yeah, it all ended up being fine.
How long? How long before the trip had you been planning to go to Everest? How long ago?
Well, it had been a dream for about 15 years.
But when you actually made like arrangements?
Oh, no arrangements. It was about a year. Yeah.
Okay. So even before the mod came out?
Yes, but I was struggling with money definitely then. I guess the big thing that came for it, well, I actually got it written into my contract that I was allowed unpaid sabbatical for it. So, I mean, I could have cancelled it, but I would have lost a lot of money, and I think it's the kind of thing, once you decide to do it, you should just do it.
That's awesome. You guys must have heard while you were up there about the other incident with the Sherpas from the other trek that was going up there.
I was actually at Camp 2 when it happened, and I saw the big crowd gathering around it. But I ended up going back and reading a book, drinking mango juice.
I know everyone was tweeting me. They were like, "Oh my God, the Sherpas are murdering Rocket. Oh, they're riding his corpse down the side of the mountain now." I was like, that's different, guys. If you read the article, there's names not there.
That mountain just attracts so much drama, eh?
Yeah.
While I was there, I decided I'd never go back. If I didn't get to the summit, I was done with it.
Yeah. Now, are there going to be, are your guns going to jam? And dirt? Is there going to be dirt in your magazines that's going to, screw you up and you have to clean it?
Well, again, how many times have I mentioned Space Station 13?
A bajillion, and no one ever checks it out.
Now, if you look at Space Station 13, and I'll use another game, Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe, which is free. Both these games are free, so I'm not trying to get people to... I tell you what, I get royalties from OpenTTD and Space Station 13.
Yeah.
Royalties on nothing. But yeah, no... oh man, I totally lost my train of thought. Yeah, Space Station 13 and OpenTTD, their development, they added cool stuff over time. And that's what DayZ's going to be able to do, because we've got our base architecture right. So things like going around, getting someone, putting a syringe full of poo and then injecting it into someone's bloodstream.
Oh, I'm so going to chase around people with my poo syringe. I so am.
Poo syringing is something that we can code that kind of stuff in. And it'd be nice to... I got a lot of little ideas, but I guess I'm trying to use them as motivation to get the alpha out. Saying, okay, we can start all the cool stuff when we get the alpha out. So we're trying to get the difficult stuff out of the way now. So no real cool stuff until the alpha's out.
Absolutely. I know you can't put the icing on the cake until you've made the bake. Yeah,
Don't buy the game. Don't buy it.
Don't buy
on
it.
Steam.
Discouraging every standalone. You heard him.
Right.
The less people, the better. All right. I think I'm gonna ask like maybe what. I don't want to delay you anymore. I really appreciate you doing this. I really do.
Well, you hit 2,000.
Yes, I think I've hit it
before.
Well, my record. This is it.
Nice.
Yeah. I want to thank everyone for coming in. Probably do like one or two more questions if that's cool.
What we should do, I'm
What?
dead serious about this. We need to set up a Crusader Kings 2 like tournament thing where we get 32 players, okay, and we play the game. So we need to create some way for people to apply. We'll create some list, let people apply to the list somehow. We'll get Matt to find some website where we can set up like a questionnaire thing or something.
Oh my god!
And then have 32 people and then stream it.
Oh my god!
Do
That'd be
like
amazing.
how awesome would that be?
That would be amazing if it wasn't so easy to screw up the multiplayer and have to disconnect and reconnect. They have to fix it. Like,
Yeah, and that's what I mean. We just need to find people who have a dedicated block of time. Basically, people who like me, who can say, right, this entire weekend I am just going to play it.
Yeah.
And maybe people could even hand it over if they want. So we could have a waiting list of people that if someone quits out or they're having too much connection troubles, we can just sub someone else in. The max players... Oh, wait, I thought they were asking about Crusader Kings then.
No, they want to know
we'll probably tweet that out. But actually, that's a good question. The max players per server. There's no limit, really. Have we tried?
I'll wait for Matt's answer in the background.
We've got not enough people. Yeah, so there's no theoretical limit.
Well, hardware limit, but you know,
server.
Yeah,
it'd be limited based on server bandwidth.
What are you guys aiming for? Like,
and map size.
What limit do you limit do you want to test it to? Like ideally for you?
I think Chernarus will start to struggle with more than 150 players, but that's just me. If we put in underground structures later on, I think you can expand that quite dramatically. But I think it's more going to be design limited. But you're always going to get that one crazy server, blimmin' face punch server, that will be just full of people.
Yeah. So you're like what, aiming for around 100 people?
I think 150.
100. You want to go for 100? You're going for it. All right. You sure you don't want to take what's in the mystery box? All right.
No, I'd say 150 is about what we're looking at.
You're looking for it. All right. Cool.
But
there you go, everyone.
Yeah, but I think that latency is going to become an issue. That's what a lot of our testing will throw this kind of stuff out. But I think more than 150 and your generous just gets too full. We've had 150 mod player servers before. They didn't work
yeah. But they didn't work out well.
We did have a 250 one for the mod once. But yeah, things are a lot more optimized.
Yeah.
We'll probably find that out.
Yeah, well, I can't wait for the test.
Need to add some more tests.
I don't know if you're going to be able to find 150 people.
Twitter gets
I don't know if you can find 150 people.
I don't think we're going to find enough people.
I don't think that anyone's willing to test your dumb game. That's stupid, by the way. I think it's horrible, and no one likes it, personally. It's never going to work. It's never going to work.
You should make a YouTube video about that.
I should.
Lols.
Yeah, I should just cancel it. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I know there's a lot of questions, guys, a bajillion, but he's got to actually make it. He's got to make the game. But thanks, Rocket. I really appreciate you doing this.
I've given up. This will take up my time that I would have spent playing Prison Architect.
Oh, you were just gonna. Oh, then screw you. You're answering stuff. All right, you're staying in for the next 3 hours? No, I was joking.
No, I mean like this time later on. So like later on, I won't be able to do it. But yeah, I've got a rescue mission going on at the moment, trying to pick up some Kerbals because they run out of fuel. So they're in a stable orbit, so they're all right. But,
there you go.
Yeah, so it's fine.
Cool. Oh, well, as long as they're not bursting into flames through the atmosphere, you're good.
And I'm hoping I get a Twitch hoodie at E3. It better not be like XL2. There's rumors of one, a Twitch hoodie.
I think XL is the first size they run out of. It shows.
I wish I had one when I went to Everest. I would have taken a picture with the Twitch hoodie. Not necessarily because I'm super in love with Twitch or anything, but just because they look damn awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen.
Oh yeah, how many hours left?
How many hours do I have left? Let me see. About 7 hours. Got about 7 hours to go.
Nice. What are you going to play?
Well, I've kind of been cracked out on DayZ. I was planning on playing a wide variety of games, but DayZ's just been too fun, and I haven't played it in a really while. So
You
now
could give Prison Architect a go, but I don't know how it'll stream. I wonder if it's too slow.
maybe I do want to try
I don't-
Scrolls as well.
Right. I haven't
Mojang
actually
just
tried
came
that.
out with Scrolls, yeah. I thought it was Elder Scrolls, but apparently it's not, and I wish that someone had sued them. Anyway.
True.
I'm sure you've heard about that.
I have.
Yeah, okay, good. I don't have to explain it then. Sweet.
I'm just jelly because Notch got invited to the Sony party with this big, like, invite, and
What was that? You're breaking up.
I know I don't even. Notch got invited to the Sony party.
Oh,
with
yeah.
this special like golden PlayStation, and I didn't get one. And Matt rightly points out I've actually only used my Xbox once that I got given. So,
Yeah.
But it's the principle. It's the principle.
Yeah, I agree.
Can you believe it? Someone has already done a summary of the stream. That is freaking amazing.
Oh, really? It's on Reddit already?
On Reddit.
Yeah,
On Reddit already.
they work quick. He's editing it right now.
Pretty
Quick.
amazing. Actually, I get a lot of flack for not spending a lot of time
No,
on the DayZ
quick,
forums.
you-
I do read
yeah.
the forums.
Dude,
but
you gotta say a whole bunch of shit that's crazy that's not even gonna ever be in the game right now. Quick. Talking squirrels give you quests.
definitely talking squirrels. Talking squirrels with rabies.
Oh, and you can catch the rabies, right? And then if you get it, you have to poop on the wound.
All the craziest stuff I can think of. We're actually planning on trying to ban.
Yeah.
Stuff. I think of something.
You can ride dolphins, right? And if you find a rainbow, you get triple hit points. And there's 2 sniper rifles, but you have to talk to the old man, journey to the mountain, and go inside the cave, right? And once you're in the cave in DayZ Standalone, okay, you turn around 3 times, take the east room exit, then the north, then you find the secret graveyard. I knew
What
it.
he said. And we've also signed a deal with Hello Kitty. So there'll be Hello Kitty backpacks. For a easy payment of $1.99 and 4 rather difficult payments of $400, you can get your own gold-plated 4A1, and it's not pay to win.
That sounds
And you
great.
can also buy your ammunition.
Oh my
It's
God,
not pay to
seriously.
win because we said it's not. So
It's true.
take that.
That's right. And if he says it's not, then that's law.
Exactly. Everybody knows that. It's the law.
The law.
Everybody's the law.
He is above the law. I've seen Rocket walk into stores and walk out with entire clothing racks and sneaker boxes, and they said, "Stop that man!" He says, "Don't worry, I'm Rocket." And they're like, "Oh, please don't punch us in the nose again, sir. Please take everything."
Please, sir, please take everything. I want a golden Hello Kitty as well. I think we all.
What a golden Hello
Secretly,
Kitties?
I actually want to put. Actually, we should. I would love to. I wish we could do this kind of branding stuff. We try really hard with Pepsi and Coke and that, but they're just like, "What? The internet? What's that? What is video games?" And yeah, Hello Kitty backpack would be awesome.
Put it in the game,
Maybe-
really? You
Maybe
realize?
we could instead of Hello Kitty, we could have Goodbye Pussy. Wait.
Goodbye, pussy! Oh no! If I saw anyone wearing that backpack, I would shoot on sight.
A Goodbye Pussy backpack.
Goodbye, pussy
Meow.
backpacks confirmed for standalone.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We do need talking squirrels, though.
We do need talking squirrels, I feel. And it would just put it on the whiteboard with the rest of the ideas and the bubbles.
What did happen? What happened to Rocket Station?
I don't know. Like, no one's been maintaining it.
That's like a man's job description. God damn it, man.
Matt's too busy and paying in real life money to have Farmville crops harvest faster.
Can you hear the stream, Matt? Oh, Matt can't hear the stream.
Have you seen the still picture that I've been using this entire time on the stream?
Yeah, I have. It's pretty.
It's the best ever.
My hair's really short now. Actually I cut my current hair myself.
Yeah, he cuts his own hair. Saves a ton.
Exactly.
That's true. Did anyone have any rocket hair question? I don't know. I think we're running out of steam here. Did you want to take any more standalone questions, or what? What do you want to do? What's the? I don't know.
Let's take one more.
Standalone question. It'll be like winning the lottery. It'll have to be amazing.
It will be like winning the lottery.
All right, everyone, spam your questions.
Pick a difficult one.
Yeah, I'll pick a difficult one. Let me choose here. I'm in charge of this.
Hey, take your time.
I know what I'm doing. All right,
it's
let's
like
see. Here they come.
It's like in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You know when you know they're getting ready to ask the question and answer the question. It's all getting very tense. That's what it's like right now.
Where do babies come from? Okay, we're going with where do babies come from? No, I was joking.
Oh no, choose the one that says it's just melee weapon question mark.
Melee weapon.
Question mark. No,
question
I'm not
mark.
saying choose that one. I was just joking. Choose a really difficult one.
No, what? I think you've already talked about player development. You're gonna get good at stuff by doing it over and over again. You've already said, I think. Maybe. I don't think there's gonna be skill trees. Yes. So if you get incredible, your right arm will get huge, but your left one will be gimpy, and
Exactly.
you may as well have one arm because you only use it a little body
But
parts.
some of these aren't even questions. They're
I
just
know, right?
statements with question marks.
Will there be zombies?
I guess they don't have time to write a question, so they're just like.
Will there be an end
Loud
game?
noises!
I don't know. He's already kind of said it's going to be more sandboxy. Baby zombies.
We could call them bombies.
Bombies, serious.
Or
And maybe
bandits.
the
Oh, wait, no,
adult
bandits
zombies
already
could throw them at you, right? And
no,
then
they could burp them at you.
They've
We could have a zombie, special zombie called a
yes,
burper that
right?
burps dead baby zombies.
Yeah, it gestates them, serious, and shoots them at you.
Oh wow! I've got to cut down the amount of Pepsi I'm drinking. Serious.
I'm having cherry Dr. Pepper, and I'm hepped up on goofballs.
Nice.
Are broken bones gonna stick out of your character?
Is that the question?
No, I'm just asking that.
Oh, right.
I said, screw everyone in chat. I'm going to ask my question. And then it's over. No, well, I'll ask another
Everyone
one.
would be kind of pissed if that was the question.
I know, that would be like eaten alive.
Yeah.
But I was curious about that.
No.
No, they're not going to stick out of the character model.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know.
It's,
Who knows?
well, a lot of the graphical kind of stuff, like, for example, the bleeding, is not actually going to be in for... It'll probably be in for the alpha, but it's not going to be in initially. Because what we do is we prototype stuff, and then our lead program goes back through and takes the prototype stuff and makes it proper.
Okay, I got a good one. Someone just asked. And you know, I don't think we covered it too much.
Is the one about penis?
No, it's yes. No, it's the one about zombie difficulty. I know that you...
Will you be able to have sex between genders?
Oh, God.
We can't have sex... Wait, between genders?
Between...
No,
you mean
but
zombies?
You're allowed to have sex with other... Well, no, with the same gender. I don't know. You
can have sex with whatever you want, guys. Serious. No one's watching you. Except snipers. And unless their scopes can record, then you're going to die anyway. Let's see. Yeah, zombie difficulty. I know the zombies are going to have all kinds of new animations, and they're going to run inside and everything. But are they going to be to the point where you can't just run around them like you do right now in the mod and like pick up guns and they're mild inconvenience? Because it forced... I remember that one patch you released for the mod where the zombies were uber hard, and it kind of forced people to work together. And people thought twice about shooting their dumb guns in your face.
God damn it, Rex. I was trying to listen to that question and you're saying something funny.
How can she stop?
Okay, so zombies. This is actually probably a good one to finish off on. So...
Oh, fucking Rax. Come on.
I'm gonna close the... I'm gonna make the little chat thing go to the side.
Alright.
Right, zombies. Okay. So, there's been a lot of work done on them, but there's a tremendous amount of more work that needs to be done with them. In terms of, are zombies going to be a threat, I think that's a very complex range of factors that are going to decide that. So the short answer is I don't know, and the long answer is that now we have more factors to make the game more complex in terms of the experience. So I think that will make not only zombies but the game itself more of a subtle challenge. There'll be a lot more of a subtle challenge to it. For example, looting is more difficult because now instead of you going up to a pile, pushing G, and then just selecting some whatever, our inventory system will populate the vicinity menu based on, as a minimum, what you can visibly see, possibly even what is directly in front of you, all that kind of stuff. So that adds a whole element to looting that wasn't there before. Then there's all the health aspects. What if you run around without shoes on? What if you get this, like cholera, or this or that, or it's a really hot day and you're wearing heaps of clothing, or it's a really cold day and you're not wearing any?
Are you going to be able to step on broken glass? Sorry. And hurt your feet?
Have that planned, but that's the kind of stuff.
That's why I was wondering. You said that you could run around with no shoes on. I was like, "Oh, are your feet gonna hurt if you step on sharp?"
Yeah, but look, that's a fantastic example of something that might take an afternoon to do that would suddenly appear in a weekly update after the alpha's released. It's exactly the kind of stuff that would happen. An example being wearing a bicycle helmet prevents you from taking knockout damage from zombies. So if you run around with a motorbike helmet on, melee-wise, you're doing pretty good. But then if someone shoots you in the head, the helmet does nothing. So, yeah, that's the kind of stuff that would appear in, would appear in the weekly updates. So yeah, that's a really long-winded way of saying I think the zombies are going to present more of a challenge, not just because they're less munted in terms of their operation. Now, notice I said I didn't say not munted. I just said less munted.
Yep.
Like the jumping attacks is damn cool. I like the jumping attacks.
Love that picture.
I'm looking at Matt. Does Matt like the jumping attacks? Yes, he's nodding. I need to do a video of it. I'm just waiting until, and hopefully Verada is telling me, their animator. Is it done? Because I just want to see if it's done. Then I can actually take a video of it. Let's go into the supermarket. Could you get me one of those Cornetto type vanilla things? Wow, everyone just knows that today. Yeah, so I hope that's answered it. But I really, if I could sort of finish up on trying to manage people's expectations of what we're trying to do. I guess to say two things. One is, actually three things. One is, we're not going to achieve everyone's expectations with the alpha release. It's just not going to happen. Number two, I know that's going to affect sales. And I know that's going to affect the hype. But we're okay with that. If 200,000 people play DayZ and we have maybe 15,000 concurrents, totally happy with that. I think that's a good result, and that'll be a good number. That'll be a fantastic number to have for the first 3 to 6 months of the game. So look at KSP, look at Minecraft. They started quite slowly. It's a reboot. That's what we want to do. And then I guess the third thing is that we have this real insistence on quality, which means we're not just throwing stuff in from the DayZ mod or throwing stuff in from other mods. Now, it doesn't mean that it looks quality, like the animations initially, they might have different this and problems and that problem, but the individual components got quite a high level of quality. So they may be broken in the build, but yeah, I don't know. Hopefully this makes sense.
You say this, but you're still going to get like 200, 500,000 people. Some ridiculous amount. Still going to happen. Still happening.
I know, but there's 2,000 people here now who I can say to and at least give them degree of honesty about what to expect, hopefully.
So be real people, be down to earth people, everyone in chat. Don't be insane. We've seen the DayZ forums on Reddit if you've been there. Insanity.
Yeah, like I think we've got a really active community, which is the reason that DayZ's success. Does mean they're a bit rabid sometimes, though. So you know.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
I appreciate
happens.
there's a lot of really cool people on the DayZ Reddit, but then there are the insane people.
And the
we all
DayZ
know the
forums,
insane
like,
people.
I don't post much on the DayZ forums,
Yeah.
but I read it a lot. I've been spending a lot of time on it because there's been a lot of very good suggestions about medical system.
Oh yeah,
so
medical system.
I'm
pretty excited actually for the medical system. What I'm really excited about for the medical system, because I always play evil in role-playing games, is being like the evil doctor who was like, I will heal your wounds, and then my syringe is full of the horrible things.
Yeah, you're going to be like, I'm going to give you this antibiotic, but it ain't an antibiotic.
It's not an antibiotic at all. It's
But
Diet
there's
Coke.
There's
Oh.
a lot of inspiration taken from games like Space Station 13, but
Yeah.
because we're 3D, there's a lot of stuff you can't necessarily.
Yeah.
But look, it's going to be an interest. The next 6 months are going to be awesome. I'm really excited about it. 'Cause it's going to be good to finally get it out there and actually start getting feedback and doing that weekly updates. Like I just love stuff like you log in to, you boot it up on Steam updates. Suddenly you find out if you walk on broken glass, you get a sore foot.
Awesome.
That kind of stuff.
The evolution, just anything.
Yeah.
You can test it, and everyone needs to remember, which everyone got alpha amnesia for the mod. We still have alpha amnesia for the
Exactly.
mod. We still play the mod right now, and we're always like, DayZ is so broken. And it's like, well, it is an alpha. It never got out of it.
We just need to stay the course, and I think if everybody keeps that in mind as the end state and say, okay, the end state is going to be you log it in one day and update and suddenly your feet break on broken glass. That's what we want. That's where we all want to head.
Cool. Well, thanks for answering all these questions, Rocket. Thanks for everyone for showing up. I really appreciate it. Some good questions got answered, hopefully. 2024 people, dear Lord. Thanks for stopping by. If you've enjoyed the stream, I'm going to continue this 24-hour stream for I think about 7 more hours. If you enjoyed it, please push follow. If you super enjoyed it and you're well off not living on ramen noodles, please donate, raising money for a new desktop so I can stream in better quality, stream DayZ Standalone in better quality eventually. Thank you very much.
And I made a donation, so if I can.
Did you really?
Well, I did. No, I did a while ago. Is this the same?
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah. Rocket donated. What was it? I can't even remember. Money. He donated money. Let's not go into the fun.
Money. That's right.
Yes, he did. I immediately spent it on black tar heroin, which I injected into my eyelid. But that's neither here nor there. It was good. I listened to Golden Brown, and seriously, a baby crawls on the ceiling.
Is that what you injected Brian with?
Yes, that's what it was.
Because he slept on a couch on the floor the entire night, even though there was a spare fold-out couch in my room.
Oh, Matt was super nice because he always gave me the bed every night. And I was like, dude, are you sure? I'll sleep on the floor. He was like, no. I was like, are you sure we could totally huddle together for warmth like we're on a mountainside and then never speak of it again?
And make out of it,
My hand is between two pillows. Those aren't pillows. Yeah. But yeah, thanks. And have fun.
Awesome.
And make the game and don't goof off.
But we need to seriously make this this Crusader Kings. This needs to
Oh, you're breaking up wicked bad.
32-player thing.
There you go.
All right. I think I'm updating my DayZ files.
Oh, there you go. You're taunting us once again.
Okay, well, thanks for having me.
Thank you, Rocket.
Good luck with the stream.
Yeah, we'll talk later. Video games.
Awesome.
My hunger was not sated by that Crusader Kings the other night.
No, totally not. But we need to do 32-player. That's what
if we don't have to disconnect every time one person loses connection. I love Crusader Kings too. Just fix the multiplayer.
They just need to drop in.
If any of the devs ever see this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just pick on Pally.
Yeah, poor Pally. All right. Thank you guys.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna get back to the stream. All right, bye. Everyone fucking 07 rocket, please.
Bye.
Yep, I want to see an insane amount of OS. I'm going to turn it off slow mode for this. Alright, it already is off. Alright. I think. Hold on.
Whoa, 07! I'm on 07 overload.
Alright, good.
Probably the
Excellent.
lamest joke I've made today.
That's terrible.
Okay.
Please leave. You've overstayed. You're welcome.
I have.
He has. He won't leave. I'm calling restraining orders, the police, everything. I'm calling the restraining orders, and they'll call the police. Okay.
See you, BikeMan.
Bye. Love you. I mean, what?
User disconnected from your channel.
We're gonna get married. He didn't tell anyone that. Put that. Whoever's doing the Reddit post, engagement. Me and Rocket, going homo for each other.